Good afternoon, judges and all the audience. We are here to present to you our mobile application for AUS IVLE. Okay. Thanks for coming to support us and watch the presentation. I'm Wang Yong. This is Juan Chen, and this is Wu Qi. And the other one actually was in China, so she didn't make it. Okay. 1 year ago, when I was struggling with using my little Android phones to access AUS IVLE, it was a painful and bad experience of selecting the right links in such a small screen. So, during that time, I cannot help asking myself, why can't we have another version of IVLE that is specially designed for mobile users? Luckily, just 1 year after, our AUS team have developed an excellent iPhone version of IVLE. Indeed, it is awesome. But the problem is, how many users can use this IVLE? So how about those users who are using Nokia phones, Android phones, BlackBerry phones, or Windows 7 phones? They do not have a chance to experience such great application. Or are we going to have one team for each operating system? That would be very costly. Therefore, our team are thinking, can we just provide one platform for all mobile devices? Yes, indeed, we have the solution. The technology is called HTML5 plus CSS3. This technology allows us to create applications that is compatible to any browsers which support HTML5. And this technology is gradually replacing the current HTML and receiving increasing popularity. Is it wonderful? Okay. Okay. Moreover, with the cutting-edge central touch framework, we are able to design a web application that has a look and feel like a native application. For example, the iPhone apps. So, we combine all the technologies that we have. Our team, JPPJFF, today is going to introducing to you our best application of IVLE for all mobile devices. The user interface will be something like this. It's nice, right? Okay. So next, I'm going to tell you more about the main features our application can support. So the first one is WorkBeam. So it allows the students and staff to access lecture notes and assignments. And also the web links, announcements, forum in the respective modules, student events, and IVLE news as well. It may look very abstract and ambiguous. So for now, I want to show a demo on how this application can work. Okay. So this is the web application that we have that can be deployed in any mobile devices. So once you have logged into our mobile IVLE, you will see a list of modules that you have registered for this semester. And below, we have events and the news. So we can first click on the first module. Then we'll see a list of components that has been activated for this module. So we click on announcement. The detail of the announcement can be shown instantly. Very fast, right? Okay. So we go back and we can select on the work bins. And here is the folders. Then we select the folders. Then we can see a list of files. In fact, our mobile application has we have used a lot of optimization approaches to maximize our performance, and it will be very fast. And the details about the optimization skills we have used later we can talk about. So now I just do a few clicks. You can see how fast it is. Okay, click, click, click. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. It's okay. So enough. Okay, enough for the demo. Next, in addition, we have one more excellent feature, which is when the user rotates the form, the layout can be automatically adjusted. It's cool, right? Okay, so now I'm going to hand over to Shuqi. He's going to talk about more about the optimization part that we have done for this mobile device, or mobile application.
Yeah, thank you, Wang Yong, for the very nice and detailed explanation. But I want to add something more. Just now, some accident happened. Then, okay, let's see the page. So for your information, all those information are live. Those are not locally stored. It's the real application. That's why we are fast, because we have to go through the network and the communication. And as you can see, it's so smooth. It's so fast. It's almost instant. So, oops. How do we do that? Because we are using a web application. So web application, you have the portability, as we know. You can use for BlackBerry, you can use for phone 7. But the drawback is the speed. Because you rely on your browser to do the execution of your applications rather than the whole phone. So that's why you are much slower than the native application. So what can we do to make it as fast as native application? Here comes the optimization. So the first thing come into our mind is the JavaScript, because we use web application. So JavaScript is the main part of our application. So imagine if we can reduce the size of your JavaScript, then the loading speed will be much faster, right? So we come out our first approach, JavaScript compression. So as you can see from here, I don't know if you can see clearly. So this is the original file. After compression, we remove all the spaces, all those, and rename the variables to make it short. So by reducing the size, the loading time is reduced. Furthermore, we use a very powerful engine, YUI. I think this one, if you do the development, you know. This one will further optimize your JavaScript. Like, for example, they put the whole thing into a EVA statement. That will increase the speed of your JavaScript. That's why our application is very smooth. And let me show you what we achieve. We reduce the size of this JavaScript from 2 meg to 500 KB. That is one quarter, more than one quarter, because it's less than 500 KB of the original size. And it's almost the same size of the native application. So which means, in terms of loading time, we are almost the same as the native application. Then this is about JavaScript compression. So what is next? Thinking about JavaScript compression, after that it's the data compression. So some of you may think, data is not much, right? Because we only have the modules, those things. But the fact is, the forum.xml file, that file is 200 KB, which means it's almost half of the application. That is no good. So we need to figure out ways of compressing data and make sure the transmission is fast. So, furthermore, because the file is so big, your phone needs to do computations to extract data and format it. Because it's an XML file, you need to pass it on your phone side. That's no good. So we come up with this idea called minimizing your phone computing. Because your mobile phone has a very low specs, even the best phone, 1 gig CPU, compared to a laptop or a desktop is nothing. So we want the server to do everything, then just pass the data to the phone. The phone just needs to display the data rather than doing any computations. So we do this. This is the traditional approach of a web application. Your phone connect to a data server. The data server pass the data to your phone. Your phone do computation, format, and all those stuff. This is no good because the burden of the phone is very big. So we add one more layer of server in between. This server will do the format and do the extraction of data. So by doing this, we reduce the file size from 200 KB to less than 10 KB. So that means the loading time is 10% of the original loading time. And actually, this is a compromise because we cannot access the data server. It's hosted by IVLE. So that's why we add another layer. So if you want to put this in live, you can actually combine the format and data server together. That will be even faster. So after doing this, our application is even faster. But the first two are more about compression, so we need something else. Then during our experiments, we identified that actually the communication with the server is the bottleneck. Because if you send a request to server, the server return a request, that will take about 10 plus seconds. That is very long. So can we think about a way to reduce that time? So HTML5 provides a very good feature which is called local storage. Local storage can store your data on your phone side in your browser. So this brings up the idea of caching. So imagine if we load a data, and the next time we access the same page, do we need to reload the data? No, we don't want to reload the data, so we use the cache to store the data. If we access this page, we just load it from our phone rather than communicate with the server. So by doing this, we can reduce the loading time before expire. Why before expire? Because we cannot cache it for forever. Because sometimes they need to update some information, module information, so we cannot cache it forever. We will set an expiry date for that. So before that, you don't have to reload it. And furthermore, are we going to cache everything we load? No, that is not a good idea. Because if we cache everything, the storage size will be very big. And that's not good because your phone will be slower and slower. And furthermore, some pages are not meant to be cached. Because like those pages you access once, the next time you are very unlikely to re-access it. So to cache them is a waste of storage. So we carefully choose the items we want to cache. So for example, we only cache those menus because we keep on accessing menus. They are most frequently accessed. So by doing this caching, the user experience is greatly enhanced. Imagine once you load the page, you don't have to reload it. The display is almost instant, as you can see from our application, the demo just now. So this is more or less about cache. So can we do something else to further improve the speed? Okay, let's take a look at this example. For example, for this use, you click the button. It takes 10 seconds to load the page and return the page. Then you spend another 10 seconds browsing the page and click another button, load the next page. So this will take 30 seconds. And can we do something about it? Yeah, we can like the browsing and the loading part. Because the time you are browsing, you don't do anything. So what about we put the loading into the browsing? Well, means we load the page while you are browsing. So consider this scenario. It's the same thing for the first part. We load the page. While browsing your page, you load the page. While you are browsing the page, you load the next page. So once you click to view the next page, the loading will be almost instant because the page is already loaded. So by doing this, as you can see, the loading time is reduced from 30 seconds to 20 seconds. It's it's 2/3 of the original speed. So as you can see, it's a great improvement. And actually, asynchronous is a very good trend in recent development with the AJAX approach. So that one is very helpful for the user experience. So in summary, combine the asynchronous, caching, formatting server, and the JavaScript compression, we bring in the ultimate user experience, which you just saw. And that is good, but that is not great enough. We have something more. Because we don't want this application to be just a competition application, which means after competition, everyone forget about it. We want this to be live. We want this to benefit our students. So we strictly follow the industrial standard. By saying this, I mean the design patterns we use MVC, Model View Controller, is very classic design pattern. And as you can see from here, the files are well organized. So we are very confident if you want to modify, if you want to extend, if you want to do anything about our application, it's very easy. It's very easy to maintain. So in all, we have a great application which has industrial standard, easy to maintain, smooth, intuitive, and fast. And some more, because this is a web application, I think the IVLE team, you are more familiar with the web application. You don't have to learn those native applications. So you can fastly train your existing employees to really work on this and get it better. So, and it's easy to maintain because you are web developers. So that's more or less about our application. Do you have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you for that. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, thanks for that. Very good presentation. You hammered on the why responsiveness is very important with a mobile application. My question is for the features. Are there other features that you think you could have added with this application? Because currently, I think there's a mobile. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's a mobile web application for events and announcements in IVLE. So is there anything different from that versus your current app?
In fact, there's nothing different. Okay. And because the principle is, the idea behind this is, that one is only for mobile applications. Last time we want to use it, but we don't have an iPhone. So that's why we came out this idea to replicate this application for everyone to use. And also, talking about features, you can add in features easily. That's the objective of our team. We want to do something for the whole school, and also for the IVLE team, they can add in features easily. And the originality of our team lies on the technical part, the portability and the responsiveness. That's what we focus on. So you can see all those creative ways of improving speed. Or you can also say creative. It's good ways.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier this is going live, right? I mean, you want this to be used by the school. Have you tested this on several devices, or are there any devices that you've tested this on?
We tested this on my phone. It's an Android phone. This phone is an entry-level phone. And it's quite smooth. And we tested on Apple Touch first generation. That one is a very old one, but we don't bring it. We tested on Apple Touch. This is 3 or 4. 3, but third generation is very smooth. So we want to test on BlackBerry and iPhone 7, but we don't have the phone. But theoretically, if they support HTML5, this will work.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you want to test it on your phone? We can test it now.
You need to connect to our network. So we don't put on the server.
Oh, you didn't put on the server?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Mango devices with us, so if you're keen, you can
Okay. Actually, we are a big fan of Windows Phone 7. If you are careful, you can know the theme, our PPT theme. We use the Windows Phone 7 color theme. You see the orange.
Actually,
you see the.
No, let's not get into that.
Yeah, you can see the like for example the first page. The first page.
Yeah,
you recognize the logo.
I was actually, this might be good, but I saw the it's using Sencha Touch,
yeah.
right? So that UI in slide 5 or 6.
Which one?
Is actually two more slides. Yes, this one. So this in Metro UI in Windows Phone 7, you don't use arrows.
Oh, okay.
You actually, we call it Metro UI. If this were a Windows Phone, I mean, if you were going for a Windows Phone UI, then you would use the Metro UI swiping thing. But since this is a mobile app, which is for everyone, right? So
yeah.
It's good to use HTML5, which also runs on the next update for Windows Phone Mango.
Yeah.
So,
there's something to add about our fantasy about Phone 7. we use this logo. We use this logo purposely because we are so not happy with the IVLE iPhone mobile app because we don't have an iPhone. We cannot use it. Well, Windows Phone 7 is a. So that's why. Okay. Enough for the.
I have two questions.
Yeah, sure.
On the asynchronous slide, how do you actually know which page to actually preempt to load?
Okay. So, oops. Yeah, that's a good question. So for the asynchronous, we do our tests. We know which one are the most heavy pages. So for our case, the forum and the workbin, they are the most heavy page because most of the data are transferred during the communication. So we don't asynchronous the announcement and the web links. Those ones are rather light because just a few, the size is very small. So we choose those two.
What's the depth of asynchronous?
Sorry?
The depth of it, because let's say, for example, if you go to, let's say, news, for example, it's easy to load asynchronous, but let's say forums, and through the forums, there are threads in that forum.
We only load the threads. We don't load the detail. So if you click on detail, they have to go through the server because you can not load all the detail. It's very hard to like our recent experiment. There are like a few tens of threads. If you are going to load all of them, it's not a good idea, right?
And the next one is, if you actually want to, this is just our opinion, if you want to actually use it on production server, it is not just simplicity of usage, but actually the stickiness of your app that makes people want to use it. Yeah, so there's something that you can consider about.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. That's a good suggestion. Yeah, thanks.
last question, sorry, I forgot.
I was still happy.
The server, you have a server in between, right?
Uh-huh.
So what kind of formatting is it doing? I mean, is it JSON or?
Yeah, JSON. Because the file passed to us is XML. And if we got the XML on phone side, we need to pass the XML. It's a very heavy process. We don't want to do that. So we use the server to convert it to JSON. Then JSON, JavaScript is quite native to JSON, so we can convert it directly. So like if they want to put it live, they can just pass the JSON. They don't have, so they format on the server side instead of go through another intermediate server because we cannot access them.
So if the endpoint was in JSON, you don't need this machine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I have one more question. I think that.
It's okay.
What happens if, let's say, for example, in a corporate scenario where a corporate admin actually disables JavaScript on my phone, and will your application still work?
No.
So it's
That's the trade-off. You got your portability, then so you rely on something which some company may disable. But I believe HTML5 is the trend. Everyone will follow to that. I don't believe in Adobe the thing. So I guess slowly people will tend to use HTML5. More and more application will come. Then people will find better ways rather than just disable the JavaScript.
Okay.
Just one question.
Sure.
Near Devo, right? There is a what is it called?
PDF file in there. So how do you handle it?
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. So as you can see, the time, because this one is expired, so they reload the page.
Okay.
The one you see is first one, right? This one, first one. Lecture notes.
Yeah, lecture notes. I think.
So because actually this is a link, you click it, then JavaScript will open a new window and download it. Oops, it's not download. Oh yeah, download it. See, this is the file. You download the file, then you can open it.
But what if I don't have a Acrobat reader in my phone? Then it will not work.
Yeah, that's a good question. But even for the native application, you have to do this. Because you don't have the Adobe Reader, you cannot read it. And why we open a new window? Because we use JavaScript for the UI. So if we open this page in the same page, you have to go back.
Yeah.
That's the Ajax problem.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's all.
Thank you. Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hope you like it.